So next up on the Knees Up Mother Brown podcast, we have a genuine Colts hero. He won a place in the hearts of every Hammers fan simply by saving a penalty from Frank Lampard in front of a sea of claret and blue at Stamford Bridge. Welcome to the show, Jimmy Wacker Walker.
Thank you very much.
How are you? So, Jimmy, I mean, genuinely, you're a cult hero to West Ham fans. What do you think it was that made you such a legend in our eyes?
Do you know what? I had such a fantastic time down there, and there was something for every year. When I was there, first year was fantastic. I knew it was going to be something special when I first went there. I had a couple of clubs at the time. Luckily, I've been at Walsall for 10 years, and I ended up. I chose the Hammers, and it was fantastic from there, to be honest, and made me welcome from day one. Then, obviously, in your away debut, if you do save that penalty, it sort of helps a little bit as well.
Yeah, it doesn't do any harm. So, like you said there, you had 10 years at Walsall. I mean, and you're a legend there too, of course. So was it a tough decision to break away and come to West Ham?
No, not really, if I'm being honest. I mean, like I said, I had a fantastic time at Walsall as well, but it was time to go. I've been there 10 years. We was probably at the top we could get, which was a championship. Obviously, I played there a few times at West Ham and loved it down there when I played there. I thought, if I get a chance, I'm playing in front of that crowd every week. So yeah, it was an easy decision once I knew Paws was in for me. Went down and chatted to him, showed me around the ground. I was sold. I think I would have signed for nothing, which I think I basically did.
So you joined in the summer of 2004. So West Ham had just lost a playoff final, and you come into the squad. I think originally you were number 2 behind Stephen Bywater. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I spoke to Paws just about 2 days after it. I mean, he was lower than a snake belly at the time, Paws. But I met him down there, and he sort of said, "Look, the way it's going to be is you and Steve fight it out. Really, he'll be my number 1 to start, but if I can get you in, he can get you in. If you're doing better than him, I'll play." I went, "Oh, that's all I needed to hear. That's enough for me." So that was it, really. But I mean, I bided my time a little bit. I had a decent pre-season, and I'd had a few good games leading up to that. Doing well in training. I'm thinking I've got to start. Stevie did okay, but he had a couple of iffy moments. I'm thinking, come on, Paws, you've got to play him. I think I knocked on his door every day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Come on, Paws, it's bad time. So he played it in the cup games, did okay in that, and obviously then I got the nod for the Chelsea one and had a decent game in that, and I would say that penalty. I thought, that's it, I'll get the chance. But he still held off playing us really for a little bit. And I think I got in at the team, but I had a bit of a groin injury, so I didn't get too well when I got in. And I had another spell on the bench, and then I think we was on the bus going to Wigan, and I think we were sort of mid-table with about 20 games to go. And I think the chief exec was behind him, the chairman, I think the Grim Reaper might have been behind him as well. And I didn't even know I was playing. He pulled us at like 10-2, said, "Right, I need you." I went, "Oh, now you need me, yeah." I think we got a 2-0 win at Wigan, or 2-1. Good. Well, was he give you some sweeties, yeah? Good. More bribery, that's great. Well, I've got another couple of minutes. No, that was it really. We never looked back. I think we went on I played about the last 17, 18 games. I think I think we'd blown it towards the end. We had Sunderland at home, if I remember right, and we lost 2-1. They won the championship there. Yeah. And we thought we'd blown it, but then we won the next couple. Or was it the one after that, Watford away, and sneaked in, and we started saying the rest is history. I mean, he's still a bit sore from it.
Yeah, well, of course. But I mean, like, you getting into the team coincided with the decent run that got us up to 6th, and we sneaked into the playoffs. So, was there a good feeling around the club at that time? Was it like, did you feel like we were going to do it?
We always did, I must admit, even though we were sort of mid-table around that time when I sneaked in, and Paul was under severe pressure. Yeah. But I think just as soon as we got them couple of wins and a bit of confidence behind us, I'm not shouting to me brother, I'm on the phone, and I think once we got a couple of wins under his belt, we sort of all gelled together, and I mean, we had a great team spirit anyway. The lads there was fantastic. It was all together. I mean, I think I can remember first day we signed Teddy, and he sort of said, "Right, team bonding session." I knew he was going to get on from that moment. Wow. I knew Essex was going to be the one for me as well. But yeah, no, we had a great team spirit, and like I say, a couple of wins and got a bit of pressure off Paws, and we just thought, you know what, we're going on a run now, and you could just sense it. And we thought we blew it at Sunderland at home, but we managed to sneak in on the last day. No thanks to Tommy Rebka trying to absolutely axe everyone, give away a penalty. Be like, "Tom, please, just don't tackle. Just don't tackle, please. Just don't tackle anymore. Don't say anything and don't tackle, please." And we managed to scrape in literally last day, and then that's it. Being honest, totally honest, we was 100% knew who was going to win it.
Wow. I mean, so in the playoff final against Preston, I mean, where does that rank in terms of the biggest games of your career?
It's probably the biggest, I'll be honest.
Wow.
Imagine, it is one of them, and you've obviously got all the. Cause I know at the time, I think it was, the finances weren't great at the club, and it was in a bit of dire straits, I think, and we needed to go back up for, from a financial point, just from a club, really. I think another season in the Championship would have really hurt them. Even there's talk about administration, etc., which is so you obviously got that sort of pressure to deal with. Then you've got the pressure you want to do well and do it for the fans and do it for yourself.
Yeah.
You've got all the family there, worldwide audience of how many millions. So, yeah, massive pressure. But, do you know what I mean? Pressure, what did they say? Pressure can either burst a pipe or make a diamond. So, fortunate for us, made a few diamonds, which was nice.
And, of course, like you mentioned your knee a minute ago, you were responsible for quite a nervy moment towards the end. You go up there, you collect the ball, land, and, what happens?
Yeah, no, it's one of them. I think I blame Wardy and Anton, to be honest, because I'm thinking with 20 minutes to go here, there is no way on God's earth any ball in the box. I'm trusting them. I'm just going to come and catch it.
Really?
Were
you a bit nervous about them at the time, or
no? Not at all. It was great. I'm only joking. They've been fantastic all for that running, especially. They were fantastic, and it was good behind them because I sort of could marshal them where I liked. There was young lads and they like being told what to do. Great. So I marshalled them where I wanted them, and it saved me a job, if I'm being honest. So they was great. But listen, that was always my dream to play in the Prem. And I'd spent 10 years, well, probably 14 years before that, building to that, and didn't think it was going to happen. Obviously, I got the chance at West Ham, and it did happen. With 20 minutes left, I'm thinking, well, for the whole game, really, any ball comes in the box, I'm taking it. Yeah. And that one was a bit of adrenaline. I've gone a bit higher than usual.
Yeah.
I'm not the thinnest of people, so that extra 6 inches of his foot might have just took its toll on the knee as I've landed on the edge. Do that movement like 100 times a month, probably a month, really.
Yeah.
You land it and you stick it, and just that time, I must have just landed it funny and managed to just absolutely felt like I'd trod on a landmine.
Oh, God.
Worst pain I've ever had, to be fair. And then probably, it would have been worse pain, I think, if Byers had not saved a free kick when he came on, but
yeah,
he came on. I can remember watching it in the room at the back in the medical room, and on the big screen, felt like about 2 hours watching that free kick go towards him.
Yeah. Really,
he swallowed it up and did brilliant. He don't get a lot of credit for that, Steve, to be fair.
Yeah.
But it was a massive moment in the game because
huge.
If that had gone in, it would have but he bounced just before him and he stuck it. And that was it. We've gone on from there. We knew we was going to, but I think it was 9 minutes added on or something like that. Ridiculous. 7 minutes.
Yeah, there was quite a bit of time. What was going through your head? Were you like, the first thing? Were you like, oh, the pain, it's over for me? Was that the first thing that kind of went through your head?
Well, yeah. I landed it, and it was just agony to start with. Honestly, the leg felt like it dropped off. And I think because what I was doing, I knew I was close, so I'm head to the edge. I'm thinking, well, just stick it, land it, keep the ball inside, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
As I've landed it, obviously, as my knee's blown up, it's the momentum I've got nothing to push off, so I've sort of carried on a bit outside the box. And I remember trying to just grab the ball.
Yeah.
So don't tap it in, and by this stage they're all going mental and that. But then obviously I've shifted. I think I did get the ball. I think I clawed it in.
Yeah.
But then obviously when I've got it, my sort of momentum shift in my brain to thinking, oh wow, that hurts. So that was one of them then, and then Johnny Green, the physio, was brilliant. He came on, and funny enough, like the pain sort of subsided. He's obviously done the test on it. He's gone like, yeah, he's shouting in the microphone or whatever. Got to come off, get the stretcher, and I'm going, nah, John, give me a minute. I think I'm all right. There's no way I'm coming off in this. But to be fair, at the start of the game, I had a groin trauma. Well, I shouldn't have played in the game, if I'm being honest.
Wow.
But you try and stop me, there was absolutely no way on God's earth I was not playing in that game.
Yeah.
So it was one of them. From the first goal kick, it was agony in my groin. But I think I was just painkillered up and everything. I thought I'd get through it.
Yeah.
But wasn't to know there's something else to go, which was 50 times worse. But it was one of them in the end. I think it was Mike Riley as well. The ref gave me a yellow as I was going off on the stretcher, so thanks for that. Salt in the women's cheers.
Were you thinking it was red? Did you think in your mind, oh, well, that's it?
Do you know what? I never did, to be honest. It would have been the harshest red card of all time. Because, without it, I would have stayed in the area.
Yeah.
But obviously, when the league goes, I've got nothing to do. You just carry on. I was that high, and that I think I was going that fast at the time.
Yeah.
If I stuck it, I'd just stay inside. Not a problem.
Yeah.
But obviously, when it's collapsed, that's what momentum took me out. So it would have been the harshest red card of all time, I think.
But go on, sir.
I think their fans, as I was going around, was was wanting a bit of that. I think they said in a few unknown certain terms, to be fair. Back in the day, he didn't quite have as many cameras, so I might be able to get away with a bit more.
But of course, it all ended happily on the day. We won. Bobby Zamora got the goal. I mean, you had this knee injury. How much did it harm your kind of celebrations of that?
Well, that was the thing. Was obviously speaking after, and I could see John, the doctor, whispering, and like shaking their heads. And I'm thinking, that's not great, is it? But then he's come to me and said, right, just ice it all night, strap it up. They didn't even want me to go out for celebrations. I went, well, look, I'm going to crawl out in a minute, if not. So he's put the biggest bandage on me ever. And then I think I went on Ludo, obviously went on Ludo's back then. He took me out to start with, and Ludo went, get to you. I was higher than I jumped there, to be fair. So if I'd have fell off his back that time, I think I'd have done it again. But it was, so afterwards, like they said, look, have a couple of beers, but nothing mad. Keep the ice on it all night. Go to the celebrations, obviously.
Yeah.
A big part of it, but you need to keep it up on a table, keep it ice, keep it compressed. Yeah, it got to about 11 o'clock. I was singing Angels on the karaoke. So I don't think I helped it that much in the first place. It was one of them. I think I'm just going to enjoy it. And a couple of days later, when I sobered up, we had the open top bus, which was fantastic. But by this stage, I'd spoke to a few people, and I knew I was in a bit of trouble with the knee. So I weren't in the greatest of moods. It was a bit, it's a bittersweet, really. You're buzzing and you want to celebrate with the lads, but now you could have a career-ending injury here.
Wow.
So it's one of them. But I've got the open top bus and everything, and my family was all there at the time.
Great.
And I remember going, look, I'm not in the mood to go on it. I'll just wait here for everyone to get back. And Johnny Green was the one who just said, look, listen, forget about your knee for a bit, to the day at least.
Yeah.
This is a once in a lifetime. This might never happen again. Do you know what I mean? You've got to get on the bus. So I did, and I sat at the back to start with, and I think as we pulled out of where we did, and you see the sea of claret and blue and about 200,000 people lying in the streets, I was straight back up the front, which is in the air as the time.
Well, you say you fulfilled that dream of yours to play in the Premiership the next season, and what season it was. But obviously there was a lot more competition in the team. I think Rob Green and Roy Carroll had joined at that point.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, obviously I was out for a year. I mean, I think they sort of thought that was me finished, to be honest. A lot of people did. And 4 or 5 months in, I was proving them right, to be honest, because I knew I wasn't going to play. I'd lost my head a little bit.
Yeah.
I was enjoying the trappings of Essex, and obviously everyone down there is a West Ham fan. They're great, isn't it? But everywhere I went, Jim has a knee. Yes, right, yeah. Yeah. What's that? I'll have a champagne with you. Yeah, of course I will. So I was enjoying that side of things. And I think John Green had got the sack at the time.
Wow.
Because him and Parsons fell out, and the new physio coming was okay, but there was obviously interest in the lads that were fit, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
So being honest, went off the rails a little bit, and it was a moment I came. We'd been in La Manga, and I think Parsons had took us for a bit of banter for the lads. So after 3 or 4 days on the piano bar, literally on the piano, in the piano bar, doing the singing, I've come back with my knee like bigger than my head, and thinking, I went to see John Green again then, and he just said, look, totally honest with you, if you don't crack on now, that's you done.
Wow.
He said, you still might be, but if you start crack on, change your lifestyle, change everything, gym at 6 in the morning, do everything for your knee, you might have a chance. So then sort of hit home, and I'm thinking, well, I've not come this far to get to the Prem.
Yeah.
And then to blow it like this, so it was one of the moments it hit home. And to be fair, change it round. I was in the gym with him at 6 in the morning. I'd go into the ground after that.
Wow.
Work with physios there, go back to John in the afternoon. I was tucked in bed by 7, 8 most nights, knackered, to be fair, but that was it. The focus was on that, and I came back. The goal was to play in the Prem.
Yeah.
The lads knew how much I'd gone through, to be honest, and when I played the first game, it was buzzing for me, although it was Portsmouth at home. And I got a round of applause before the game. Paul has gone, look, come back in great shape. We didn't think we'd see him. Welcome back. Thank you. So changed before, got a round of applause. Welcome back. I went, all right, sack the applause. Let's just go and win the game, yeah? 3-0 down at half time. Just came off. Wanted to fight everyone. Paul was like, all right, Jim, welcome back. Calm down. I think we lost that one 4-2, so all right, it was great that I was back, but I was gutted more that we'd lost the game in the manner we did. But then I think I played a couple more after that, which was great, and obviously we had the FA Cup, which
of course
I was so getting to Parsons' head. to be fair to Shaka, he played every round, and it was fantastic. That because I think Roy got injured, so they brought Shaka in as well. I mean, Pars was great that year because they was going to bring someone else in January as well.
Right.
Because they had Steve, Shaka, and I don't think Robert signed them. It was Shaka and Roy. So they needed a little bit more cover, really. I said, look, Pars, promise you I'll be back for February. Don't get anyone in the So he backed it a little bit.
Wow.
But then he got to the semis in the final, and before the final, I can remember knocking on his door going, at the start of the week, going, listen, this is fate, Pars. He was a big believer in it. It's fate. It's a year to the day. I've done my knee. Everyone thought I was finished. I'm back at the same spot it happened. This is fate. You've got to play me. You've got to play me. This is leading up to, and I was doing well at the time as well. Really enjoying football, fittest I've ever been. And he called me in on a Thursday, and it was one of them. It was 50-50. I'm thinking, please, just play me. And he's gone, look, I have to go with Shaka. I'd kill him if I didn't. He's played in every round. And to be fair, Czech had done well. I understood what he was saying, but I still told Pars after the game, which didn't go down too well, I would have changed history, definitely, because that was my game low down from 40 yards.
Do you think you would have said, had you been in goal, do you think you would have stopped Gerrard's shot?
1,000,000%.
Really?
Yeah, really. That's why I'm even more devastated. It wouldn't have been Gerrard's final, it would have just been a West Ham win.
We're in the Walker final.
It would have been lovely. But then, then things happen. It's fine margins, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, so you were at West Ham for like another 3 years after that FA Cup final.
Yeah.
And you were around when things kind of went wrong for Pardew, as they are now a little bit. I mean, what happened at the time to kind of lose that team spirit?
It was a strange one, really, because he had the change room, to be honest, and the lads quite liked him, and it's just a couple of things, a couple of the young lads who'd done so well, was just sort of losing their head a little bit and letting it get to them, and they was not concentrating on the football as much, involved in everything else off the field.
Oh, really?
Interviews and everything. I mean, like nothing like that, nothing dodgy, and just interviewing every time. Listen, keep your heads down, concentrate on your football. This is what's got you here. Don't just blow it down. And it was one of them. And then when he started losing, everyone started getting on top of them, and I think Pars tried to protect him a little, but it was I think it came on top of him a little, to be fair. So it was just one of them in the end, and we couldn't buy a win at the time.
Yeah.
So I think it was one of them, and obviously they thought Curbs would do a better job, I think. So brought him in.
I mean, was the writing on the wall then for kind of part? Could you tell? Like, did you think like he'd lost the dressing room, or was it? Not?
No, he'd not lost the dressing room. To be honest, he'd not lost the dressing room at all. It was the lads quite like Pars, and I think probably the best he'd been managing, if I'm being honest.
Wow.
But the results weren't matching, and we all know it's a results business.
Yeah.
So at the time, it was. I think he'd lost the board, definitely. So they was waiting for a chance. I think a few of the fans were on the turn a little bit.
Yeah.
So it was one of them. But I mean, I like Pars. I must admit, it was a good manager. So we wanted to do well for him. It just didn't happen. But then, obviously, I think there's a lot of things going on. Weren't there? The sort of everyone was togetherness we had then. You got Tevez and Mascherano in, it just changed things a little. There was great lads as well, but it just changed the dynamics of things a little. And they weren't playing, then they was playing, and then he was getting sick off the board.
Yeah.
So it was one of them. It was just a culmination of things, really. But it was, like I say, that season again turned out to be amazing at the end.
Yeah.
They would have thought stay up at the last game at Man U.
Yeah.
So, like I said at the start, every year had something in it for me. That's why it's such a good time for me.
Yeah. Well,
probably apart from the last one, where I went on loan to Colchester, which was a fantastic time as well, but not what I quite wanted to be doing.
So we saw that you were training with the keepers the other day, so you're back down. Back down
loved it. Loved every minute of it.
Yeah.
Great to be back, it was.
How did that come? How did that happen?
Because I'm obviously goalie coach at Peterborough now.
Yeah.
Enjoying that role, I must admit, really good. And the chairman at ours said, look, and the manager said, look, you've got to get out and watch a few, listen, you'd always think you're doing it right anyway, but it's great to go and see all the, and obviously to go and see the Prem lads, the goalie coaches there, was great. So I spoke to Big Ginge, and I didn't know Martin Margetson, to be fair. I know, obviously, I didn't say hello to him, but not well enough to ring up. I asked Big Ginge, I said, any chance you could have a word and see if I can come down to training? He was fantastic, Martin. Proper good lads. He put on a great session for the goal as well. Learned a lot from it, so and it was great. And I got to see a few of the old boys. I just got Teddy weren't in. He was in the day before, but he weren't in that day.
Did you see him down at New Bar on the Friday night?
I see him. My mates 3 Colts. Put it down. Come here. Sorry, 1 second. But that's what you get when you eat pepper, mate. You just said pepper. Yeah. Right, don't teach it then. Yeah, no, so it's fantastic. It's great to be back. And I did go in the kit room. Pete, the kit man, was still there. He was an absolute legend.
Yeah.
And he kitted me out because I was just going to go. I watched, to be fair, Martin went, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm just going to take a few notes if that's all right." And he went, "Get your boots on then." Brilliant. So I was kitted out in full West Ham attire.
Wow,
nice.
I did say to Pete, I said, you do know. He went, "Jim, don't even say anything. I know it's going."
Funny. Last question. What kind of reaction do you get from Hammers fans now? I mean, you're still a cult hero, so do people still recognise you?
Fantastic.
Really?
Yeah, fantastic. Really good. I mean, listen, Ligue 1, they've had another playoff win since then, which I was at as well, which was brilliant. They've had a few more seasons. The proper established Prem side, I feel, now as well. So they've had a lot going on. It's gone onwards and upwards from them, which is fantastic. Because, I mean, I'll be totally honest, I'm not just saying it. With them and Wolves for the first no, don't eat that pepper. You'll just smell it then, but it's the same thing. Oh my God. So if my boy starts sniffing through your boy starts sneezing through the interview. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
And chew, yeah. No, so what was I saying there?
So the reaction from West Ham fans these days?
No, fantastic. It's the first result I looked to. I still know, like, obviously King Nose was still there, and Ginge and a few of the boys. I know Thompson and them. So it's the first result I look for. I love the club, I must admit. And fantastic time, and the fans have been fantastic with me. Wherever I've been there. Obviously, things move on, but they still seem to remember the stuff I did, and enjoyed it. So we've gone about the programme in the column as well, which I enjoyed doing.
Yeah.
Just the cane, the lads was fantastic.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had a great time there, and happy memories, and always be happy for us.
Great stuff.
Well, very much reciprocal. Thank you so much for your time there. Great memories, and thank you for your time this evening.
Jimmy, thanks so much.
More than welcome. I just
Appreciate
got
it,
my boy out now from his sneezing.
No more pepper.
Cheers,
Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Cheers, and all the best,
Thanks.
boys.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye-bye. Bye.